Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jai Gobind and this is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you have not subscribed yet and join our awesome community. You can follow me on all social media at Channel for Grace, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Jai Gobind page, and also a Facebook group called Channel for Grace Soul Tribe. I also have just finally released a announcement of the new newsletter, the Channel for Grace newsletter, where once a week I will be sending you a weekly moon report, giving you the phases of the moon, the sign the moon is in, and all the aspects that it's making to other planets and how those energies will be affecting us on a daily basis. That will begin on Wednesdays. So the link is in the description to sign up for that. I also have my new online course called Woman and the Moon available for purchase for $108 on my website. Just go to channelforgrace.guru and then click on online courses to find that. And there's so many other things that are coming up for us and I'm very, very excited about for this channel. So check out all the links in the description of the video, including a link to sign up for a masterclass to teach you all about the law of attraction, how to use it in your life, how it works, and what are some of the tools that you can use to start manifesting more in your life. 2020 is a year of manifesting and expanding, and that is what we will teach you in that class happening on February 9th, which is a Sunday. Link is in the description as well. So here we have 4 piles. If you've never done a pick a card reading before, the way this works is you pick one of these piles. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. And once you select your pile, you will go into the timestamps in either the description if you're on your desktop or the comments if you're on your phone. And this will give you insight into February. Now, there's a lot happening in February astrologically. So if you have not watched my February astrological forecast video, make sure you check that out. We are going to be experiencing a Mercury retrograde, as well as other planets moving signs, Venus moving into Aries, Mars moving into Capricorn, Venus square Pluto, and we've got a full moon in Leo and a new moon in Pisces towards the end of the month. So there's a lot going on this month. It's a short month, but it's jam-packed with astrological events that will be affecting all of us. So this reading will give you insight into the energies for all of the month of February for you, and I will also be releasing more videos soon about the Mercury retrograde, the full moon and the new moon astrology. And please join me for our full moon and new moon ceremonies that happen on the day of the full moon and the new moon. Thank you so much, and let's get started. All right, pile number 1, we begin your reading with the crone as your theme for the month, and these 3 astrological influences of the North Node, the earth element, and the sign of Virgo. So the crone is known as sort of, it's one of the phases in the growth process of the divine feminine. She's known as the witch, she's known as the old woman, she's known as the sage. You can see here a crow in the picture, and crows are actually connected to the realm of magic. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is, so being in the present moment. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, the smoke, and also the moon. So that brings in that sacred divine feminine energy. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. So we do see the crone kind of like all on her own. It's like she's just super comfortable with like herself and life, and she just, she doesn't make problems or drama. I think that's the theme for you this month is you need to move more towards that type of energy. Now we have, the North Node here, and the North Node right now is in Cancer, which is like, what do you love? And connecting to that space is what the crone, it's like the essence of the crone is she's always in that space. And that is what you are being invited to do for this month. You're also being invited to ground down with the earth element card of stability, connected to all the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Oh, I'm blanking out on the third one. It's all good. So, but anyways, the earth element is about grounding yourself, to earth. And when you think about the earth, the crone has a very deep connection to that, sacred, divine, feminine energy that is Pachamama, or Mother Earth. The third one was Virgo. Now I remember. That's so funny. It's like right in front of my face. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so Virgo, you also got the sign of Virgo right there. I was like, what's the third one? And then I'm like, oh my God, it's right there. Present on the board. So that's Virgo is also the energy of like thinking. It's about digging deep into the details, focusing on the details, but focusing on the details, not to get lost in the details, but actually to bring forth from the realm of the divine, or the realm of the universe, bringing forth that perfection in the details into this earth plane. So there's a very beautiful connection here to the three-dimensional world, and pulling in and bringing in what your destiny is, what your life purpose is, into this three-dimensional world. Now in February, you are also going to see a portal opening up. Doors are opening, and you are the one that decides what's next. This is like the wild card. It's in your hands. You can see, the hand in this picture, but it's like the future is in your hands. It's like you are in full control of this. And this portal that's opening is literally like beyond what you could ever imagine. And that's why it's something that you have to trust fully to get to the other side of. You also get the full moon in Virgo, which is telling you to trust yourself and let go of any insecurities, and know that you're good enough. You are good enough to do anything, whatever it takes. This is also an energy of manifestation for you. This month you will be, activating that energy of, that second house and that Taurus and earth energy to create and bring into this physical time, space, reality, all the things that you're wanting to create. So you think of them in the realm of Virgo, the mind, and Mercury, and then you make them, you manifest them into reality in the realm of the physical. And the way you do that is like full trust in the universe. Your spirit guide for the month is the divine director, who teaches you about intervention and purpose. So there's something big. I feel like your purpose is connected to this idea of the crone that is so comfortable in her own space and in her own skin that she can do magic, because that's really how magic really starts. You get the animal spirit that is going to help you this month is the golden egg. And the golden egg, I'm going to read to you from the book, but the golden egg is very much connected to the heart center. It's the message at the center of the heart. It's called the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. There's no rushing, pushing, or grasping this energy. And you can tell that the crone very much understands that. And that's why that's the theme for you. You have to find a place of deep and restful ease. You can do that through things like yoga, nidra, meditation, whatever form of, this piece that you need. You need to find a place to be able to do that this month. And if you don't yet have a meditation practice, just take some time for introspection and contemplation. When the mind begins to settle, because the Virgo mind can be very active, but when you take the time to be still, your mind begins to settle and your breath starts to calm. And that's the moment where you're going to ask yourself the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. You have to stay open to any response that you hear and engage with the energy of the golden egg as an advanced practice of understanding your deepest desires, your life purpose, what your heart wants, which, the North Node is in right now in Cancer. This requires becoming, very intimate with our essence and comfortable with being vulnerable. And that's not always an easy thing to do. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. And your friend is you, like your soul. You're going to start to feel your soul. Listen to the message that, your soul has been waiting to tell you. You are going to receive a powerful message this month. So let's put up the last card, which is your crystal for the month. And this is the crystal called malachite, and it's also green, which is the color of the heart chakra. This is what malachite is all about. Overthinking can make you feel like you're starting to lose it. But malachite spirit has appeared to let you know that there is a difference between unproductive ruminating and taking the time to apply logic that can help you make sense of what you know. Reasoning with clarity means the right use of your intellect as you consider all the evidence you have encountered. This includes evidence produced by opening yourself to messages from the conscious universe through your first sense, which is intuition. Your reasoning powers are at their peak right now, so let go of any old beliefs that would make you doubt malachite's spirit message, which is to trust that you are smart enough to sort through all of the information before you. Wow, that's beautiful. Remember, you also got the you are good enough card, full moon in Virgo. So this message is you. This is an internal process that you're going through. This is a revelation that's going to appear to you. It'll be a very deep revelation. You will embody the energy of the crone if you learn to trust your heart, if you quiet the mind, so that the real, pure, logic or way of understanding the world can emerge from that quiet space. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments how this reading resonated with you, and I hope that you will sign up for my newsletter and receive my weekly, monthly, or my weekly moon reports. Satnam. All right, pile number 2, the card that we begin your reading with is the Judge, and this is the theme for you for this month of February. And then we follow that with your 3 astrological influences, which is the 2nd house and Jupiter return and lunar eclipse. So we'll talk about the archetype of the Judge first to kind of get an idea of what this month is going to be for you. Now, the Judge is known, he's known by many different words. Some of them are, the critic. He's also known as like the diplomat. He's known as the advocate. You can also connect it to like the judgment card in the traditional tarot. And there's 2 ways of really understanding the Judge. The Judge's energy is in a way contagious. When we feel judged, the walls go up all around. And then similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. So it's this energy of it's discernment, or it's the opposite of that. The Judge has an incredibly important job. So the Judge helps us to discern what is safe, true, and just. And what I mean by the Judge is there's a part of us inside that is the Judge, right? Who's always like looking out at the world and saying, I like that, I don't like that, depending on what we've learned, the belief systems that we've, grown up with. We have a viewpoint of everything in the world. Like that's our inner Judge. Now, when you gain a wider perspective of what the Judge archetype actually represents, you see that there's two opposite kind of expressions of it. And you kind of want to be more on the discerning side and less on the taking offense and judgment of things side. So the Judge helps us to discern what is safe, what is true, what is just. However, when this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and of others. So you become really critical of yourself. Now, Gandhi is a good example. He had an incredibly illuminated inner Judge. He was a lawyer. He practiced silence 1 day a week in order to hone his discernment while on his revolutionary path. And if you know Gandhi, he's a pretty famous person. He led a lot of people in India towards more freedom of speech, and to do the things that they really wanted for themselves without being sort of ruled by the government. But his journey was, what he taught was nonviolence, that you could do things without being violent. And I think sometimes that's a good lesson for you for this month. Like, sometimes we get caught up in the world and the things that happen to us. But when you use the archetype of the judge in the wise sage way, or in the positive way, what you're getting is this intense understanding, this intense perspective of your life. So if you are, right now being really critical of yourself, just stop it, because you are so much more than your insecurities. Insecurity is a part of life. We all have insecurities, but we need to work towards becoming more confident in ourselves. And the way that you do that is by you become more discernment instead of more judgment. This is also reminding me of, I just read the book The Fifth Agreement, and in it he talks about how the fifth agreement is basically you have to be skeptical, but you have to learn to listen. That is the discerning part of the judge. He learns how to listen. He remains skeptical, but he learns how to listen, and that is how you learn to respect others, and you learn to respect yourself, and you learn to not take anything personal, because you understand the bigger picture of what's going on. This is a really big thing for you this month. You get the astrological influences of the second house, which is the world of your finances, the material world. You also get Jupiter return, which symbolizes benefits coming your way. A cycle is being finished, and a new one is beginning. And then you also get the lunar eclipse card, which means change. And whenever there's a lunar eclipse, any kind of eclipse is a time of revolution in our lives. So the lunar eclipse is a revolution on the sort of the sacred divine feminine aspect of your life, like the parts of you that are the goddess, your emotions, even your fears, like facing your fears. The lunar eclipse will make you face your fears, and then the judge, if you're able to be in the right space, will transcend all the self-criticism, and will learn to discern and be more of the wise sage energy, instead of the falling because the fears take over you. But the lunar eclipse, or that moon energy, is also the mother. This could be something that's going on with the mother figure in your life. There's a very deep inner working here of this reading. Plus Jupiter is in Capricorn right now. But he also rules the 9th house of spiritual integration. So this is a spiritual revolution that's happening for you in, the realm of your physical life, material possessions, and finances. The card that you get from the Rebecca Campbell Star Seed Oracle is the Ancestors card. This is about hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and looking a little bit deeper. So when we think of, I do feel there's kind of like issues going on in the family realm for you for some reason. These cards are pointing towards that there might be someone who is, acting in a way that's forcing you to face your fears. And so you're having to sit there and be like, do I judge myself too, along with this person, because I've just been taught that that's what I should do, and this person knows everything? Or do I overcome that and realize that there's a way deeper connection to, beings from the stars, that you're here on this earth and you have this, earthly family, and really, your earthly family was kind of like the vehicle, or the way that you chose to enter into this realm, but where you come from is way farther, like in the stars. It's beyond this reality. You couldn't even comprehend it unless you really knew how to connect with it and channel that energy. But there are ancestors here that are holding space for you to do this healing. And I feel like if you face the fears that are coming up for you this month, you will learn to be above and transcend your insecurities. You also get the North Node card, which the nodes are the nodes of the moon. So there's again another appearance of moon energy here, the goddess, the mother. And it says you need to step out of your comfort zone. This is definitely a test. February is going to be a test for you to step out of your comfort zone and learn. When you step out of your comfort zone, you learn so much about yourself. Like I said, there's an energy of channeling that is happening here. When you open yourself up to the truth, which is, that you come from the stars, that you're starseed, you will be able to connect to that flow of energy and you will understand it at a much deeper level. Now, the angel or the guide or your teacher for the month is Archangel Michael. And he's about trusting in heaven. Now, the word heaven brings up a lot here, because you can think of heaven in the way, the most popular, I guess, belief system of it is like, we're here on earth, and then there's like, you can go to hell or you can go to heaven. And heaven is like out there or in the sky, or it's another realm. And the truth is that heaven is an energy that you can manifest here on earth. We can live, we can live in a way where our thoughts and our belief systems and our minds create hell on earth. And I think a lot of us are living hell on earth based on what we've created with our minds, because each one of us creates our own reality, our own world. It's like this virtual reality. And a lot of us are living hell on earth, and we don't realize that we have the capability of changing the story, facing the fears, right? Which is what you're being asked to do, and then change the story, which is exactly going from the critical side of the judge to the more wise, sage, discerning side of the judge, and being skeptical but learning how to listen. That's exactly what the judge represents for you here. And so Archangel Michael is saying you need to trust heaven. That means that you need to trust that the story that you know is the truth. You need to trust that you can bring heaven to earth, that you can create a world where you're actually living in happiness and joy and excitement and love. And you can bring that here to the earth. And you are supposed to bring that to earth because you are a starseed, and because you're supposed to channel that energy through. Like, there's a mission here that wants to come through, but you have to connect to it and you have to let it flow through. The only reason you're going to do that is if you open yourself up. Stop closing yourself off to bringing that energy of heaven here to earth. The animal that you get is the elephant, and I will read about the elephant from the book, but the elephant is awesome. The elephant is really the remover of obstacles. He kind of plows through things, and I love that energy. The elephant is unstoppable. It's very auspicious and it's very wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in this animal tarot deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. Oh, I love that for you. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. Wow, that's amazing. So whatever you're experiencing right now, it will change. It will shift. So if you feel stuck, you have to trust that you're being guided. And it reminds me of, the star ancestor card that's right here on the table. You're being guided by more than you know. Your crystal for the month is amber. And amber is actually about healing family patterns, believe it or not. And this is the message from Amber. The families we come into as infants and the ones we grew up in offer us experiences that yield gifts. These are lessons about love, about resilience and forgiveness, and about our own power to leave behind old ways and embrace the new ways. Our current families do this too. By exploring our relationships with family members, we can discover our own strength and wisdom. Amber Spirit is here with a message to reconnect with the wounded story you still recount, one that is a legacy of your family. Can you heal this story? And instead, Tell one from the perspective of love. How beautiful it is to alchemically change the experience of family. This way you may receive and give love within a family as defined by the heart and the magic of the conscious universe, who sends people your way to make sure you have the caring and affection you need and deserve. Friends can be new family. Reflect today on the love you have created for yourself and how precious you are, a gem like no other. Reflect on the family surrounding you, the guides and manifestations of the conscious universe here to support you and send you love, and then some more love. Look to those who choose to offer you this gift, for they are your human and animal family. Draw strength from knowing that love shows up, always, to bring you what was missing in your own family in the past. This balm is available for you to heal the family wound that has hurt for so long. Wow, that's intense. Oh my God. So this is major month for you guys, and it has to do all with family healing, karmic wounds, healing old stories, letting go of the past, allowing yourself to move into the future, understanding, and also setting healthy boundaries. Because sometimes we get stuck on that critical side of the judge archetype because we don't know how to set healthy boundaries. To go to the other side, to the opposite end of the spectrum, and be skeptical and learn how to listen and discern and be that wise sage for yourself, you have to learn how to set those healthy boundaries. And then once those boundaries are set, then can you even be in a space to even look at what's going on. So this is a very powerful message for you guys. I hope you resonated with this. Let me know in the comments what your experience was, and I hope to see you on the email list to get the weekly emails that will be coming out soon, starting on Wednesdays with the weekly moon report. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Sat Nam. All right, pile number 3. Your theme card is the archetype of the Destroyer for the month of February. And the 3 astrological influences are the water element, Mercury retrograde, which we will be having a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is the water sign, and the 3rd house of messages, which is also ruled by Gemini and Mercury, and the ability to communicate. So let's talk about the Destroyer first. So the Destroyer, I'll read you the archetype, but it's similar to what we would call the Tower card in the traditional tarot. So in old tales, the Destroyer sometimes appears as a black dog. Other times it takes the form of gods and goddesses such as Shiva, Kali, and Apophis. Consider Picasso's statement: every act of creation is first of all an act of destruction. That is the process of creativity. That is the process of manifesting something in the world. The Destroyer is also known as the Savage. He's also, connected to the unexpected. He's also the rejected aspects. The Destroyer is actually the final of 3 archetypes, which are considered the trio of existence. It has necessary yet painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to permanence as a signifier of success. Yet the Destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It is the part of us that wants things to end. Its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. So you have to think about the end outcome of this transitional period, because this month for you is going to be a major transitional period, and it will be guided by the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is also going to be in Aquarius, because Mercury will go into Pisces, then go retrograde, and then retrograde back into Aquarius, and then go direct, and then move through Aquarius again, and then back into Pisces. So it's going to be retrograde for like a 3-week period. So the Destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. In the old myths, this is the moment when heads begin to roll, the ground opens up, and castles crumble. So hold on for the ride, because the Destroyer has arrived. And that sounds a little bit intense. But if you think about what Mercury retrograde actually does, it sends us into this inner journey. All retrogrades really do. So you're going to be going into this deep inner journey of uncovering the truth about the divine, the subconscious mind, the things in the ukupacha, the underworld that we don't really want to look at, but we have to look at. And what I'm gonna bet is that the rest of these cards will show you exactly what will happen once you get through this powerful transition, which we'll call it a destroying transition. So the card that you get is the Hathors from the Rebecca Campbell deck. We, the Hathors, this is deep love. This is like the mother's milk. And it is looking at birth as a portal. So beautiful that we get this card here, because the destroyer card is the death aspect, right? And then right after it, we get the birth, the mother's milk, the deep love. We, the Hathors, who are a group of beings that are here to support you and help you through this powerful transition. Now, as you go through, this month of February, and especially this retrograde, since the card appeared here for you, remember that communication is the key. And you get the new moon in Gemini, which rules the third house, which rules Mercury. So you have a lot of this Mercury, Gemini, third house energy here. So it's all about communication and being clear. Now, Mercury retrograde tends to make communication unclear. It makes it difficult to communicate. So you're going to have to try extra hard to find the truth in the realm of Pisces, which I like to call Wonderland. You can't get lost in Wonderland. You should definitely watch the video titled The February Astrological Forecast to get more information about this Mercury retrograde. But I will also create another video that will be focused just on Mercury retrograde and where it's happening in your chart specifically. So if you pick this pile, be on the lookout for that video, because you'll get a lot more information about how this is affecting you on a more personal level. But this is huge for you, huge. And you're gonna have to try extra hard to communicate and be very clear about what you wanna say and what it is you're needing to you come through you. Now you get the card of expansion. And this is, I love this card. You can see the star image and basically sacred geometry here. And the expansion of the universe depends on your transition through this period. This transformational period, which will feel like a death because it'll be like a tower moment, will be mostly, internal. It could possibly have to do with your external world and relationships, but that'll depend really on where Mercury is going retrograde in your chart. But this will be mostly an internal process because it's Pisces, and that's the subconscious mind. And then it's Aquarius, which is actually all of society, like all of humanity and the future. And I feel like we're gonna have this intense experience of the underworld or the subconscious mind and looking at all our fears. And then when it switches to Aquarius, we'll get the glimpse of like, well, where is this all really going? And we'll understand why we're being gifted with this moment. Now, the teacher for you for the month is hope. That's so beautiful. I love the yellow color. The yellow is the third chakra, your willpower, your navel center. This is like, this is happy energy. This is strength. This is the fire element. So water and fire represented right there. Now, this is about you learning how to love and accept. Accept yourself for who you are. Accept the world for how it is. Accept others for how they are. And be okay with everything. And realize that everything is perfect just the way it is. And there's no more of a graceful animal to show up for you for this month than the swan. And I'm going to read to you what the swan represents, but it's a very beautiful and soft energy. It's very Pisces. It's also a water animal, so it represents the water element. So there's a lot that you'll feel a lot of emotional shift this month. I think you'll be facing some of your fears and seeing things that you didn't expect to see, but you will deep down inside know that it's exactly what you needed to see. The swan is all about effortless creativity. It's the sensitive mystic. It's the elegant power. Oh my God, I love those words. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rise on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. Wow. That is literally why you are going to go through this death ritual through the Mercury retrograde, because it is calling you deep inwards to receive a powerful message. And that is so Pisces and Neptune energy and 12th house energy, all of that. All Pisces is all about the deep subconscious, the realm of the unknown, and that's what you're stepping into. This is a beautiful, look at this crystal that you get. It is watermelon tourmaline. It's just amazing. I would recommend getting a piece of watermelon tourmaline because it will inspire you to bring out this creativity. But this is what watermelon tourmaline is all about. Watermelon tourmaline is about seeing perfection in the moment and basking in the bliss of just being. This is about natural joy and having a peaceful heart. Watermelon tourmaline spirit comes bearing the message that the divine order supports you in experiencing your bliss. Notice the perfection in this moment, that unbreakable connection to universal consciousness within you. The conscious universe is here to guide you, so you may feel and experience bliss as it radiates outward. Your outer conditions will soon respond with a reflection of your natural joy and your peaceful heart. Forget the small stuff today and simply be present, feeling your bliss, experiencing that you are where you need to be, filled with joy, enthusiasm, and optimism right now. Yes, problems exist and always will, but watermelon tourmaline spirit is here to remind you that they do not have to define your experience in this life, and you are an extremely powerful healer and co-creator. So let joy and peace arise within you. You are asked now to acknowledge your creative power and your ability to collaborate in the great healing work of the all. Wow, that's amazing, because that's exactly what the swan just said. Do not let your ego distract you from the pleasure of knowing that each moment you are here, you have the distinct honor of being able to contribute to the healing of the planet and all of her creatures. The conscious universe is giving you a shout out, so bask in your bliss. Life is good and getting better every moment. That is exactly how you're going to feel at the end of this journey. Keep your eye on that prize and go through the process. Full-heartedly go through the destroying death ritual tower moment that this Mercury retrograde will bring for you. Dive into it. No fear. With actual happiness that it is here and it is presenting you with an opportunity to get to this point of ultimate creativity for the betterment of all of humanity. That comes from deep within your soul. That is where this is leading, and that is powerful and beautiful. I hope that this reading resonated with you. Let me know in the comments if it did, and I hope to see you on my newsletter to receive my weekly Moon Magic report. Thank you so much. I will see you again next month. Sat Nam. All right, pile number 4. Your theme for the month is the father archetype. You've got the 3 astrological influences of the 5th house of creativity, the sign of Cancer, and the planet Pluto of transformation. Let's begin by talking about the archetype of the father, because this is the theme for you for February. So when you think of the father figure, you can also think of him as the emperor. It's like this authority. It's like this masculine energy. When it's a good relationship with the father, the energy is this like powerful guide or source that you can look at to receive inspiration as to finding your own power and your own rhythm. You have to really, to understand this archetype, you have to become a student of this masculine energy. And you have to watch the father when you see this archetype in movies and in like things like plays or Shakespearean plays. You have to see the father as a pattern and not as personal. The father is also known as the great father, the masculine, the protector. Alongside the mother figure, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus, he's infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. And I think that's because it's more of a masculine energy. It's an energy that holds space. It needs to stand still and be strong and hold that space in order to feel really, in order to be that stable. You can't sway like the moon. The father is more like the sun energy that it holds this space. It sits there in the center and everything revolves around it. And then the moon is like the mother, because like it, it's the feminine. It's like it flows and it moves and always continues and it never stops changing on a constant level. But the father is stable, and I think that's why he can seem emotionally absent. But through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and one who leaves us to the wolves. Because remember those times like when you were little and your mom was all like, oh my God, no, protect him, or protect her. Like, you can't do that because it's too dangerous. And then sometimes, the father goes, just let him experience it. Like, he needs to learn from his mistakes. Like, that's the father. That's why he's both the guardian and also the one who leaves us to the wolves, because he understands that there's lessons we need to learn on our own, like by experiencing them. And that's what this month represents for you. You are having an experience that might be really new to you, but it's something that needs to happen in order for you to truly understand where it is that you're going. Now, getting the 5th house of creativity, this is something, this could literally be a project that's like wanting to be birthed from you. And think about the father too. He's also like Saturn, right? That's like Saturn energy. And Saturn is, he's the old man. He's like he's also a wise sage, and he teaches us how to find, more balance and how to become responsible in our lives. So maybe there's a creative aspect to your life that is wanting to be expressed with a little more structure around it. It's something that just came to me. You have to also connect to your heart, though. You can't forget, Cancer, the sign of Cancer is the connection to the moon. The moon rules, the sign of Cancer. And when it's in this space, it's in its feminine. So you get the masculine and the feminine represented here. Now, there's also Pluto, who is going through a transformation or helping you go through a transformation in your life. So what else can help clarify this message for us? Well, we have this beautiful card called Star Brothers. So this is Horus energy. This is protection. This is about protection, which is very much like the father. This is loyalty, safety, and trust. I love how we're getting these like manly figures and masculine energy in these cards right now for you. And I want to know like what is your experience of like looking at these cards and how is it reaching you? Just let me know in the comments below. But Star Brothers, I feel like this could be a message of a connection with that masculine energy. This could literally be like connection to your brother. It could literally be a connection to your father. What I'm seeing is there's the masculine lineage here being represented, and that is that energy of protection. You are protected. You're learning how to be loyal. You are safe, and you're learning how to trust. And you're aligning yourself with that lineage of the father, which is like any, the masculine, any brothers, even in any males in your life, really. What is going on in the world? What is your relationship with the masculine? That's one question that I would definitely recommend you ask yourself right now for this month, why is this like presenting itself into your life right now? Are you seeing or intuitively feeling a connection yourself as you see these cards and listen to this reading? You get the believe in the impossible, the blue moon card. You also get the Vesica Pisces. And we can talk about the Vesica Pisces and believing in the impossible as one unit. Because the Vesica Pisces is a sacred geometry symbol that represents the creation of the universe. In the beginning was like nothing. It was like maybe, just an existence. And then there was a thought. And the thought was, who am I? And when that thought happened, there was consciousness. And when the consciousness happened, it split, right? Everything started to split. It was all one, but then everything started to split into many pieces and many dimensions. And that's manifestation at its finest. That's why we are the same as that one energy in the beginning, but we are also an expression of it. We're a piece of it. We're not our own thing. When you realize that, that's what teachers mean when they say we are one. We're all originating from that one source energy, and so we're a piece of it. And so in a sense, we're all kind of reflections of each other, or mirror reflections of that inner, like different pieces of it. So if you were to put a puzzle together, we would all fit together perfectly and create that whole image. The Vesica Pisces is the manifestation of that. It is the believing in the impossible that you can create and that you can manifest. And I see a lot of powerful activation energy, especially when we see the card that you get, which is your spirit guide for the month. Sanat Kumara, who teaches you about light activation, who says, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. That's very masculine. The feminine is very subtle, right? The messages of the feminine are very subtle, but for you, this is coming through loud and clear. This is the father, this is the brother, this is the masculine energy. Just let it come through. Let it manifest. It will guide you into actually creating something, manifesting something. The animal that you get is the earthworm. We're going to actually read about the earthworm. This is like more of that grounding energy. Also, too, the earthworm can be a little bit shy. It can also be hesitant. It can also be reluctant to share its inner vision. That's not what the universe wants you to do here. The universe wants you to transcend that and to stop feeling so small. Stop feeling small and trust that you have, like, there's backing here. Like, what you create matters, and that you are a piece of that whole. We all have felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced. Wow, that's crazy, because that's like the father energy. He's wise and experienced, and we look up to that energy. We look up to the father. But it's important to remember, they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time, and we can look at the father and the star brother as masters. And you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. That is so true. In the beginner's mind, right, the Vesica Pisces, there is a lot of wisdom there. There's so much that you could say about this symbol. Like, you could write books and books on just this image, on just this symbol. That's what's contained in that beginner's mind, because this was the very early stages of creation in our universe. And the crystal that you get is raw morganite. And I'm going to read to you what raw morganite is all about. But it's basically about connecting to your sensitivity, its gentleness, its empathy, its compassion, it's the gift of vulnerability, and also forgiveness. So among all this masculine energy, there is the softness right here, and it arrives with the message from raw morganite. No matter how hard the rock, over time, water can alter it. Oh my God, that's intense. Making a path where there was none before. The appearance of this crystal is a sign that this is a time for you to embrace your sensitivity and gentleness. So think of the earthworm. It's vulnerable, right? It's soft. It can be damaged easy. It can be hurt easy. It doesn't move very fast. And that's that sensitive space. There is no need to be forceful when you can simply be open to what you are entitled to receive. Allow yourself to be vulnerable as this crystal spirit appears in raw, unpolished form, finding strength in knowing that you do not have to engage in battles that serve no one. You are able to handle whatever dramas are in front of you right now with steadiness, because that's that father energy. Your exquisite sensitivity will serve you well, for it allows you to see things as they are. The conscious universe will be gentle with you, and Ra Morganite spirit is here to let you know that you are not alone and you have a solid foundation beneath you. That foundation is that stability that comes from the archetype of the father. This month is holding space for you. This month is holding space for you to create and to manifest. It's holding space for you to be vulnerable and to be in that sensitive space so that you can create. And you have to believe in the impossible. Remember, you got the fifth house of creativity. Spirit is here to let you know you are not alone and you have a solid foundation beneath you. So express your gifts of empathy and compassion. You are stronger than you know. How beautiful is that? So in the end of this message, we see the bigger picture. You are this sensitive being with a really strong shell or a really strong, foundation beneath you. You have to trust in that foundation. That foundation can literally be like your own inner world. It can be a belief system. It can literally be like financial stability. That's a foundation. Whatever that foundation is, you have to trust in that foundation and let it guide you. Let it hold space for you to be vulnerable and to create and manifest. And the truth is that the masculine is very strong, but when it allows itself to be vulnerable and tap into its sacred divine feminine, that opens up the door for so much creativity, because the creative space is the feminine. The masculine is the action needed to create, but the creativity itself is the feminine. It is that Vesica Pisces. It is the earthworm, the vulnerability, the sensitivity of the earthworm. It is the raw Morganite energy. It is the fifth house. So you are activated right now, and this month will be for you to see what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to manifest in your life. Ask yourself those questions, and then let me know in the comments what you came up with. I hope this reading resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you as part of my email list and newsletter and receive our weekly Moon Magic report. I'll see you guys next time. Sat Nam.